Welcome everybody. The latest
Are we at 60?
63. I think it could be 64. I'm gonna check while we're getting it going. But so much this week, right? And we say the same thing every week, but it is happening. And I think yeah, just as things continue to evolve, we have so many people coming through. That brain juice the other day was off the charts. I had my head was like exploding, and then the post, Hal 9000, Daniel Daniel's back, took a little hiatus because he was off the charts,
Yeah.
and now it's like, wow, I got to keep up, and yeah, just kind of use these things. We had kind of a transformation of Prompt Cowboy. We may have touched on a little bit this week, but it seems to have grown quite a bit. And it's just interesting, Braggs. I think it's like when there's so many things coming out, I think companies really have to time what they're releasing and how much, and right, so they can just stay in the news, stay current, stay top of mind with their users.
There's so much, David. It's even as I look at it, I'm like, it's wonderful that we dedicate the hour or the 45 minutes every week to talk to people because there's so much new stuff. Um, where do we start? Do you have a few things or what have we got here?
Sure, I could get into a little Prompt Cowboy. I feel like it's something that people may not use as much. I don't know what your thoughts are. Let me just pull it up real quick. So yeah, and there's some new stuff somebody told me about that we'll just explore together because do it
Sure.
on the fly.
Let's do.
So Prompt Cowboy, for those of you that haven't heard us talk about it, turns your lazy prompts into great prompts, right? They've added several new things, I think, since yesterday. Um, right, here's quick, guided. Oh, that's coming soon. It looks like now you can get 10 you're on haiku, you can get 10 prompts this month. So now they have a pro option. We'll see how much this is, which I'll probably just pay it because I think they do such a great job. Yeah, I'd love to support what they do. And for unlimited, it used to be unlimited. Now you can, it looks like 10 prompts a month, template, agent. Oh, that's agent's coming soon. But just other things, they've added it looks like they're adding what models you can use. Uploading files for the best one, for the new one, right? Here we were doing, I use this for deep research quite a bit. You can have it remember your prompts if you log in, but
Mhm.
right, we were looking at, what is Gilead investing in femtech or for women's products. One of our
Mhm.
one of our members was interested in kind of checking out what they were doing, and let's do a deep dive. And where are the opportunities within this particular area? Then you just copy the prompt, pop it into whatever LLM you're using, whether it's I think that was Gemini I was using for that, other things, right? Pitch decks. This was, the prompt for the pitch deck using NotebookLM. Um, right. It kind of used the purpose. Then I usually throw this inside of Gemini because I can attach the notebook so it can kind of read what I'm talking about. And then we had some killer stuff come out of it.
It makes such
So
a
anyway,
difference, David. I think so many people are disillusioned about AI software because they're not seeing very simple steps like you just did. You're just like, let's go find a pro software and be like, hey, could you make this better? And then it did.
right. Yeah. And then within Notebook, Notebook, now you can edit. You can, I don't know if you've played with any of the editing in Notebook yet, Brad, or have you?
Yeah, we looked at it a little bit. What I like is that you can put your notebooks into Gemini. I think we showed that last week, yeah?
Right. Yeah, yeah, we did that, but you can also go in and there's one of our new partners, Cineverse. But And Evan just showed this to me last night. I haven't even played with it yet. Let's
Okay.
see. So you can take,
Oh, you can edit slides. Yeah, I haven't done this yet, but it's there.
right, you can add slides, revise them, right? So you can kind of give it, make this look more realistic or make it look like, right?
Yeah, you just use your text prompt and just be like, hey, I want this better.
Yeah, but Evan's got some prompts he's been using that are just sick, where it'll say, instead of cartoony, it'll make it more camera, look like what lens are they shooting it in, down to that micro. I just thought that was so cool, and I think we fly by these things, right? We have, I remember when the two music sites came out, Sona and Ideo, we flew by them pretty quickly. People are just starting to hear about them now. It's been like a year.
Mhm.
Anyway, so I think
Mhm.
we find stuff that works well. Let's stay with it for a little bit.
That I know that's the tough thing is everything's so shiny.
Right. Have you been doing much coding or agent development? I've been installing Camille's just finished with Claudia, but
Mhm.
it's been a challenge a little bit. Might be user error.
Yeah. What I did, David, actually, the website I sent you last night, I made between a few different language models. The process I liked, if you're making an HTML website, I've learned this. We say these words and no one ever takes the time to go, what does that actually mean? For tons of people, they know what it is, but for loads of people, they don't. HTML, normal A to Z text is text. And then when it does something different, when there's a next layer to it, like if you hover over it, words appear over top of it, or if you click it, it sends you somewhere, it becomes hypertext. So the HT and HTML is hypertext, which means that it's going to do something more than just to read it. And then the ML and HTML is markup language, which means that if you use those angular brackets, you can make it italic or bold or different sizes. You can mark it up or down like a teacher would mark up your essay in school with a red pen. This is bigger, underline this. So an HTML website is just text that you can make bold or italics. So an HTML website is those basic websites, and I used all of the language models all at once. I went into Claude and had lots of context for my project, and then I would take it over to Manus and say, "Hey, let's tidy up the code a little bit." And then I would also go across to ChatGPT and Gemini and say, "Manus just did this. Tell it to fix a couple things." And then I would send it back to Claude and be like, "Hey, Claude, what's your version of it?" And then go to ChatGPT and be like, "Claude just did this. Fix it a little bit." Um, and it ended up being excellent because sometimes it wanted to change the content of my website. How are you saying this? What's the order of information? And then I would say, you know what? I'm good on that. A couple suggestions were good. But I said, for the most part, just make it better. And then I kept saying, the junior editor did this. You're the senior editor. And then I would go to the next one and be like, the junior editor did this, make it the senior one. And the reason, David, is because that's very simple terms that the LLM gets is that's the low version and you want the high version. And by the end of it, thumbs up. By the end of it, it was a much better experience. So for anybody doing it, don't be afraid. I used some very simple tools where I just literally dragged the file onto my screen and then it made a website. Like myurl.com, boom, it's live, it's clickable. So that's my version of vibe coding. I know other guys get into it deeper. I did take a computer coding class in undergrad. I'm aware of it. It's not my specialty, so I stay in my lane.
Right.
Um, what do we have to look at here? Let's look at a couple things. This is from yesterday. So this is just an article. I haven't even had time to figure this out because get this, David. With Claude, some of you guys have heard me talk about this before. There's usage, right? You can check your stats on how much you've used Claude. And I ran out of tokens. I used up the entire week's worth. Maybe we can look real quick. I'll show
Wow.
you guys. I know. I'll show you guys what that looks like. Got some other URL in my browser when I go to type cloud, that comes up. So if I go to my settings, cool. I'll drag this into this active market. You guys can see that? Yeah, you can see my settings.
Yeah, we
You
can
get
see
to the setting.
maybe make it a little bigger if you can, but that's right.
Yeah, in the bottom left corner is your first initial, and then it gets you to this menu, and you can see usage, right? It says here's your current session. It lasts until, I don't know, 4 hours. And then there's a weekly limit. Well, it updated just now because we reached 10 a.m. Eastern. But on like Tuesday night or Wednesday, I was at 98 or 9%. Like I was cooked.
Wow.
And somehow Claude awarded me $70 in extra usage. I don't know. So I've not hooked up my credit card to this, but they gave me $70 once. So I've been using it a little bit. But nonetheless, be mindful, ladies and gentlemen, not just about your session, which can jam up, but your week, because I ran through it using that website. But check this out. This is from yesterday. Anthropic's Claude can now draw interactive charts and diagrams. So you can interact with it. On Thursday, which is yesterday, Anthropic updated Claude. So for anybody who says, oh, these articles are old, nope, this is brand new. They updated this yesterday to now draw interactive charts, diagrams, and visualizations on demand. The idea is to build something graphical to aid users' understanding of the topic at hand. So here, I think this is like a periodic table of elements, and they're clicking on each number and each element. And then in the bottom here, you can see it switches from calcium 20 to neodymium 60 and aluminum. And I didn't take science class, so I'm going to skip past that before I say the words wrong. So check that out. For what it's worth to have Claude create a visualization, the easiest way is to ask for one. So just be like, hey, I want a visualization. But at times, it might decide that a graphic might be the best way. So visualization and graphic, they're calling them different things. So in the experiment, Claude got their things right for the most part, but check that out, right? You can create an interactive diagram, interactive diagrams, right? I think the best part, David, is just to be creative with it and not go we're looking at the newstack.io, not look at how they did it. Just use your own imagination and be like, what can I do with interactive? Because my best success with these tools, David, has come from pushing it and being like, could you do something more? And just using those exact words. Could you do something more?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So here's the idea, though. It can take a while, right? So be patient with it. You're accustomed to finding answers in seconds. This one took half a minute. I'm going to give an ironic gasp. Half a minute. I mean, you could hardly get in line at the photocopier in some offices in half a minute, let alone make an interactive diagram. So it's funny that this is where we're at. This is a noteworthy news article. Takes half a minute. So look for these guys and gals. It's a new feature. And then on Tuesday, check this out. OpenAI launched what it's called the Dynamic Visual Explanations. So all these companies, they're just neck and neck with it, right? So it says this feature from OpenAI is mostly focused on explaining math and science topics, dynamic visual explanations. But from 3 days ago, if that's what you're doing, check that out in ChatGPT. We switch platforms here, but help me understand, ideal gas law, right? Nonetheless, you get some sliders, the volume of the container moves up, you've got some popping up, 70 plus interactive math and science concepts. I mean, that's pretty cool.
That's
right?
amazing.
Like there's so many tools, David. I haven't had a chance to look at these because there's just so dang much. So check that out from ChatGPT, right? To understand concepts, right? The learning models. There's so much. So this, though, is the Claude. Let's take a look at this. Just a minute. What's a good major for someone who likes these things? Sketching, visiting old buildings, and solving 3D puzzles. I like these. Have you seen those? Have you seen these questions, these interactive questions Claude does now? Have you seen these?
Briefly, but I want to see what you found that I didn't, because I ran through it.
Yeah, so if you're using Claude, now I find if you give it a fork in the road, it will actually pop up clickable buttons. And it will say, did you mean
Yes, I have seen that. And that's
all
great.
daytime, all afternoon, all nighttime, or a blend? And you're like, I like afternoons or whatever, whatever it might be. I always like to use simple examples so you don't get caught up in the example. But yeah, look for those clickable buttons. There's a tendency, David, to just like click the button like as fast as you can, and you miss those. So watch out for those because they'll pop up. So they said I need to see it visually, whatever it was they're doing. Look at this. Wow. I'm seriously impressed. And you can see there, um, they clicked a button to choose the option. Gotta scrub it back a sec. Can we get it here? Right there. If I zoom in, you can see they offered to add a second story to the building to show lateral forces or wood versus steel. So, everybody check that out. It looks super cool. From Gemini, Gemini keeps doing new things. Keep your eye on Gemini. Where are we from? 3 days ago? Google Workspace is absolutely updating the ways to put spreadsheets and documents in. So if you're using Gemini, make sure you know that there's just new levels, what they're calling state-of-the-art performance in Google Sheets. So that's a spreadsheet, that's a comma-separated value, that's a data sheet, that's any cell information, those grids or boxes. They've announced this new beta feature for Gemini in Sheets. So that's the Google Excel or the Google numbers called Sheets, spreadsheets. And this new beta feature helps you create, organize, and edit. So you're going to create them. Hey, I've got some loose data. Make it for me. You're going to organize it. It's scattered. It's not in the right order. Organize it for me. And then edit it. Hey, you know what? This needs to go and this needs to get in there. You can do that to entire sheets, from a basic task to a complex data analysis. Just describe what you need. They've reached state-of-the-art proficiency in autonomously manipulating complex real-world spreadsheets on the full spreadsheet bench data set. So I guess someone says if it matters, they're doing all right. It's a public benchmark which evaluates models on their ability to edit spreadsheets in real-world scenarios. They've achieved a 70% success rate. So ladies and gentlemen, 70%. Do not think that this is flawless. Do not think this is perfect, but it's getting there. And you should start to use it, because with all these tools, there's a point where you're just like, I can't not use it. It's so good. It's so quick. So keep that in mind, that these start to get used across all these different tools. Where are we here? No, thanks. The latest model from OpenAI comes just days after they launched 5.3 Instant, is now 5.4. All right. Can we get the actual? Oh, man. Anyway, so they're calling 5.4 the most capable and efficient frontier model for professional work. So as soon as you start using Claude, you got to go back to ChatGPT. It's their most token efficient reasoning model yet. It uses significantly fewer tokens. It solves problems when compared to 5.2. It solves problems and delivers answers with fewer tokens. It's better doing real world tasks. It's got improved accuracy. There's an add-on for Excel. So just when you see Gemini from Google going into Google Sheets, now ChatGPT has the Excel add-on. So whether you're using Chat or Google, check out that Chat now has Chat for Excel. You install it, right? And you can ask it to build full spreadsheets, get insights across the tabs and formulas, update your workbooks in real time. It's available in beta if you're a Plus, Pro, Business, Enterprise, Education, or a Chat for Teachers member. America, Canada, Australia, right? So I think plenty of our viewers are going to be a Plus member, which is not the giant one. But you can turn conversations into spreadsheets. It works directly in Excel, right? And there's a bunch of different ways to use it. So check that out. That's right from the chat blog. I encourage most of our viewers there every week to go, which is to say, every week on the latest, I encourage you to check out the blog directly from the company rather than going to someone else's blog. Someone else's blog might just get your attention, but go look from the company so you don't get hearsay or a sideways version of it. What else we have here? So NotebookLM, which we love, which we were talking about, it can now turn your favorite novels into AI-hosted podcasts and custom infographics. And they're going to use the file format of EPUB, like an electronic publication. So if you have an electronic publication file, if you've got like a full book that's downloaded as an EPUB file, you can get that into NotebookLM and blast out an audio overview, right? So we're talking about a book report for your kid that didn't read the book. Bam. In another post, NotebookLM also announced that the tool now lets users create custom infographics in 10 specific styles. We covered that last time, but we didn't really note that they are sketch, like a hand-drawn, Kawaii, it's a certain style of image, a professional image, a scientific image, an anime look, a clay look, editorial, instructional, Bento grid, and bricks. Let's pop off to this one here. Grok continues to do different things. They've got Grok Imagine, right? And then, David, I guess, I'm just reading this. I guess Grok Imagine will let you do some after dark images. I know they said if that R-rated content can be spoken of on Grok, the image can be made. So Elon has not given the world a guardrail on the images that it will create. So, keep that in mind for what's out there from Grok. I've not clicked on it to get it, but I gotta tell you, I get it. Just from looking at it, I get it. ElevenLabs, just after the last episode, David, ElevenLabs has version 3 alpha, and they've got what they're calling the most expressive text-to-speech model. And the belief, Dave, is that they've launched into a more realistic version. I think I'm sharing for sound. I think so. If I click it, I'll share for sound. There we go. Let's see what we hear here.
11v3, most expressive AI text-to-speech model, launched vertical bar ElevenLabs. Today, we're introducing 11v3, audio tags like of expressiveness.
Yeah, it's still not there. I can still tell it's a robot. Like, even in 6 words, I was kind of disappointed. I was like, oh. But that being said, I've used my own voice with ElevenLabs in the last 7 days and quite liked it. The key thing here is that it can do 70 plus languages and do multi-speaker dialogue. Let's look at the video, because that, no offense to ElevenLabs, was not hitting it. But let's check out their professional video. So everything here was great with the V3.
Hey Jessica, have you tried the new 11v3?
I just got it. The clarity is amazing. I can actually do whispers now. Like this.
Ooh, fancy. Check this out. I can do full.
So what I'm noticing there, David, is using tags: excited, whisper, impressed, dramatically, and giggling, which conceptually we can get if you can start to tag your dialogue. What I would say, David, is I would go to my language model, Chat, Claude, Gemini, Grok, Perplexity, Manus, or what have you, and say, go look at the list of ElevenLabs version 3 tags, and then put this into my dialogue. For you and Evan with Stone AI, I can only imagine when you guys start to use voice tags inside your audio tracks for when you guys work with studios and television and film companies. Let's watch a little bit more here.
Shakespeare now. To be or not to be, that is the question.
Nice. Though I'm more excited about the laugh upgrade. Listen to this.
That's so much better than our old ha robot chuckle.
I know, right? And apparently we can do accents now too. Fancy a cup of tea?
Wow, V2 me could never. I'm actually excited to have conversations now instead of just talking at people.
So that
We're
was,
off under the lights here for this semi-final clash. The stadium buzz.
so they're calling this situational awareness. They're using a British commentator, and because they're talking about sports, he's giving it a speed of sports. What I've noticed in ElevenLabs, David, is you can change the speed of the voice. So it's good to know for people who are not familiar with the tool that these aren't like programmatic things. This is just like a slider dial. Like you just slide it up to 80%, 90%, 30%.
With anticipation, ElevenLabs United in their iconic black and white shirts, pushing forward with intent straight from the opening whistle. Driving down the wing, pace to Bernie, skips past 1, skips past 2. Oh, this is beautiful. One-on-one with the fullback, cuts inside. Oh, that's a lovely bit of footwork. And goal! Oh my goodness, they've done it again!
This is character performance.
Arr! The open ocean! Smell that, lads? That's the scent of freedom! and just a hint of mutiny. Now grab your cutlasses,
I don't want to make this
stow
too
your
much
fear.
of a plug for ElevenLabs, but I'm kind of impressed. I don't know about you.
No, it is it's amazing.
All
I'm
right,
interested.
emotional context. What's their next tab here? Narrative intelligence.
Okay, this is happening. I mean, I'm
Or like, I gotta tell you, man, multi-character dialogue.
Hey, Chris. Knock, knock.
I'm not doing this again.
Come on, man. Please. I promise.
Wow, multi-character. And it's a delivery. Anyway, that's impressive. That's super impressive. This is what Elon was saying. Grok will follow R-rated movie standards for AI-generated images. So you're not going to get your X-rated content on X, but you can get your R-rated content for people who need, David, to make R-rated cartoon content. I guess that's what they're doing. Slack has a new intelligently designed Slack bot. That's not what I was clicking though. I was getting rid
I
of
missed that.
Yeah, I was looking at these video models. This is from March 7th, so just after last show. Just for people who don't know these differences, Seed Dance is the company from TikTok, ByteDance. They've got their video model. So here's a quick look. If you're a YouTuber creating long-form content, sometimes your character drifts, the lighting's not consistent, you don't have stable motion, and the logic of the scene breaks down. Your best choice might be, according to Geek Vibes Nation, Seed Dance. So if you're a YouTuber, check that out. If you run paid ads and you need the lighting to be real, the movement to be human, the texture to be accurate to your product, and the presentation of your brand to be clear, try VO. So that's if you're running paid ads or marketing, try VO, according to these guys at Geek Vibes Nation. If you want to create cinematic social media story content, try Kling, because they've got storyboards, multi-shot narratives. That means that the camera changes from close-up to straight on to at an angle, all within one prompt. It maintains that cinematic look, and the visuals are dramatic for social content. If you need fast content testing, they're saying VO3 fast. And if you're building a character and your brand wants it to be a cereal, so like think about KFC getting a version of the Colonel, right? That's a character and they want to use it consistently. That's your brand mascot. They're saying look between Seed Dance 2 and Kling 3. And if you don't want to have multiple subscriptions, if you just want one platform, I've never heard of this, Luba. I'll click it. It might just be an ad for the whole thing, but check that out. Right?
I haven't either.
There's so many of these, David. I cannot vouch for this at all. I'm just saying it's out there. There's tons of neat stuff out there. This, Slack bot. I don't use Slack, but I guess there's a Slack bot. Manus, this is news to me that they have a text to AI video use case. I knew you could do videos there, but they seem to be showing you step by step how to enter your text, create the visuals, and then receive your video and automate an entire video workflow. So Manus is using those tools that we just talked about. For those of you who use Manus, I'm going to pause there. Actually, no, I'll do one more. This was in the Brain Juice chat. Bumble, the dating app, has, I read TechCrunch's version, they're introducing an AI dating assistant called Bee. So this is from yesterday morning. The CEO said, Whitney Wolf Heard, she said that this is in beta internal. Or no, sorry, it's internal only and it's launching into beta. Basically, you're going to have a chat with the AI, and then it's going to recommend people to you. So it'll be used to power a new dating experience that uses AI to recommend matches. But in the future, it will move into other areas like offering date suggestions or requesting anonymous feedback from your prior matches. So it's both expanding and closing in that world. It's saying within the chat, it might say, you two both like pickleball. We know that because you told 6 other people in 10 other chats, why don't you guys go on a pickleball date? That's kind of cool. But at the same time, heads up, they might be requesting anonymous feedback from your prior matches. So if you have bad breath, they might be telling the AI, watch out, coffee breath. I say that lightheartedly, but at the same time, it's just something good to be aware of. If you're in the dating market, there is AI coming for you. If you're in the spreadsheet market, there is AI coming for you. If you're making videos, there's AI coming for you. It's like Ken Rakowski, our friend, has said that soon this will be like spell check. It'll just be something you anticipate is within whatever platform you're using. Man, this stuff moves fast, David. There's stuff, even when I go to look at the news, it's new.
Totally. And I think yeah, for us, it's kind of like spell check already. You just kind of assume it's there, right? But then, yeah, but I think as people are just starting to hear things, I think somebody was showing some stats just about who, right, or how many people have been exposed to AI or this or that. Is it like was it 1% or something? It's under 5.
It's low.
Right, but
Yeah.
if different continents, I think that was a global number, but
Yeah, Harry was saying about Peter Diamandis' Abundant 360, which is on right now in Los Angeles. He was saying that Claude's Clawbot was mentioned, whether it's OpenAI's now because they kind of bought it, but he said that maybe 5% of the people knew what it was by a hands-up survey. And Mike Koenings was there on stage, and
what was Claude? Who knew what was Claude?
At Peter Diamandis' Abundance 360, they mentioned it, Clawbot,
Open Claw. Right.
Claw. Yeah, they mentioned it. They're like, "Who knows about this?" And they said like it was like 5% hands up.
That's right. That's crazy.
And
but
then,
I guess that's right. That's what the numbers were around. Open Claw. My bad.
And then I want to share this one too because some of our audience will know this. I do not claim to know everything. I claim to read some things. So this was on my radar from the other day, that it's Gemini Embedding 2. It's Google's first natively multimodal embedding model. So the multimodal is images, texts, maps, audio, video, and documents in a single space. It enables multimodal retrieval and classification across different types of media, and it's in public preview. I don't quite know what that means. This one was just a bit over my hair. But for the people who do know about it, check that out. And then this one here, this is from yesterday. Gemini is reimagining maps to get immersive, that you can ask about places, take the guesswork out of your drive. We saw some of this at CES a year ago. So interesting that it's coming to consumer market now. But check that out, right? 3D building render, showing people moving through. Here's a traffic light, here's your destination, here's the street name, here's where you turn. Looks pretty cool. You can see more of your route to prepare for what's next, right? You can see what looks like elevation changes, traffic lights, crosswalks, stores, distance, speed of car, right? Accurate turn, like that, a reorienting of the camera. Looks pretty cool. You can use trade-offs for alternate routes to pick what works best for you. I think I've already got that, but there it is. And then helpful details like parking and entrance information make your arrival easy. So the world, David, never stops turning, and I'm grateful that we take the time to watch it spin.
Yes. Good one, Brad. We'll stop it at 1:45. Thank you, everybody. To correct from earlier, that was episode 62 of the latest. We'll be at 64 before we know it.
That gets it.
Have a great weekend, everybody.